So without further ado, I would like to introduce the first speaker. He is Guillaume Felley, COO of Liquidity Networks. Welcome onto stage. Great.
Hello, very happy to be here. So yeah, my name is Guillaume Felley from Liquidity Network, and today I'm going to speak about NOCUST, secure scalable commit chain. So I'm going to speak, so it's a layer 2 solution, and I'm going to first present quickly like the layer 2 landscape. So I will speak only about layer 2 solutions that do not introduce any additional consensus mechanism, because it is more secure to just rely on the current proof-of-work consensus mechanism of the Ethereum blockchain. So first we have payment channels, two-party payment channels. It's basically isolated interaction between two parties that log some amount of money into a channel. And we have three phases: opening through an on-chain transaction, then the channel is live, and after some period of time, we have a dispute challenge procedure, a dispute closure procedure. And while the challenge is live, we can off-chain reallocate the money locked into the collateral, into the channel as much as we want. Then we have commit chain. So commit chains, you have a central operator and the user around. And there is only one phase, it's the periodic commit. So the operator of this commit chain will put on chain an aggregate of the transactions periodically. So some examples for commit chain are Plasma and NOCUST that I'm gonna detail now. And for payment channels, you have Lightning Network, Raiden, and others. So let's look a little bit more in detail how this commit chain works. So the operator commits a hash of the transaction, and the users make some off-chain transfers, and after a period of time, it gets committed onto the blockchain, and so on and so forth. So we have this period of time, we call it a round, and something very important is that like all users at every round inspect the checkpoint. So look at the integrity of their account to ensure that like the operator didn't cheat. So we can operate a NOCUST commit chain in two different manners. So with collateral money or without collateral money. So without collateral money, you get delayed transaction finality. So you make an off-chain transaction and it will be committed into the future. Therefore, I might have a rather long confirmation time. Right now, on our production system, we do a round time of 36 hours. And yeah, so it takes some time to confirm the transaction. So the advantage is that you don't have any large amount of collateral just locked up on chain that are just seated there to guarantee for the security. But the drawback is that you have to wait. So now the good news is that you can operate a commit chain with collateral by providing collateral, and you get instant transaction finality. So what you have to do is like this round period, you have to ensure not yet committed payments. So you get a collateral pool that is gonna ensure off-chain payment in case something goes wrong in the future, in the upcoming checkpoint. I can just tap into this collateral pool. And this makes transaction instant. And which is great is that you can reallocate the collateral for all the users of your commit chain in one single on-chain transaction. So now some UX tweak which are interesting with commit chain. You can receive transaction while being offline. This seems like something trivial and that we are all used to with regular on-chain transaction. I don't need your approval in order to receive a payment. But like in the layer 2 world, it's often a problem. You need to countersign a transaction. So for example, payment channel, often you need to have your wallet open in order to receive money. Here you don't have that. And yeah, the transaction is as well instant, and but like there is still the need for for all users to audit their account periodically. Another interesting thing is you can join the network without any on-chain transactions, such as opening a payment channel. The registration into the system is just a signed TCP message that you send to the operator, and then you're ready to receive funds and forward them to other users. So quick summary, you have delay finality without collateral, instant finality with collateral, recipient can be offline, and you can join the network without any on-chain transactions. And last, you have fair mass exit, meaning that if every user of the system want to exit the system at the same time, even if the blockchain get congested for a very long period of time, it's guaranteed that all users will get their money back. So wait, this is centralized, right? I'm here for the decentralization, so what's wrong here? So it is true, it is a centralized system, but it is untrusted and non-custodian. So there is very little that the operator can do. There is very little bad thing that the operator can do besides censorship. So the operator can say, no, I don't want you to join the network, or no, I don't want you to make these transactions. What the operator cannot do is stealing coins, double spending coins, or minting coins, and prohibiting exit as well. And this is very important because it means that I don't need the approval of the operator in order to leave the system and get just my money back on chain. I can just leave anytime without the operator's approval. So all this is like in the setup that there is only one commit chain, but you can have several commit chain, right? And if you're unhappy with one, you can just migrate to another one. And yeah, we envision a future where there will be like many of this commit chain, and you can further like interconnect them with payment channel. So this is the key point to understand NOCUST. It is that it's data structure, and the thing to understand here is that the data structure makes it obvious if there is any, if the operator tries to cheat. So for example, if he double spends or if he mints new coin, it will be very obvious to any users. And therefore they can challenge and stop the system and revert fraudulent operation. Okay, so now let's look a bit at the security properties and the attacks that we can do on the system and see how resilient it is. Okay, so first scenario, the operator is gonna disappear. It's gonna go offline, and yeah, let's see what happens. So we have the Genesis checkpoint there, and then we make 100 transactions in 36 hours, and then 100 transaction more 36 hours later. And after 12 hours, the operator disappears. So now what happens? So the transaction from 1 to 200 are committed into the checkpoint. So that's fine. They can be withdrawn anytime. Now, what about the transaction that happened after in this 12-hour period? So these transactions are reverted. They were not committed onto the blockchain. Therefore, you cannot withdraw directly this transaction. But we have an insurance pool. So these users go to the insurance pool and can basically show the signature there and get the money for this transaction that were not yet committed. And that's why you have instant finality in the system, because no matter what happened later, you will always have you will never lose money. Okay, another attack. Bob tries to double spend. So Bob has two accounts, Bob and Bob Prime, and he's gonna try to send 50 ETH to both, Alice and Bob Prime. So he sends 50 ETH to Alice, that works, and then he tries to send 50 ETH to Bob Prime, his own account, and it doesn't work. And the reason is because the operator sees that Bob is trying to spend more money than he actually has, therefore it doesn't approve the second transactions. So this was very easy. The operator just had to block it. Now, a more interesting attack is like, what if Bob collude with the operator? So the operator is malicious and will like help Bob to double spend. So now you can do that. Bob gonna double spend 50 Ether to Alice and Bob Prime, and the transaction will go through. But now, later on in the checkpoint, what will happen? So now you are in this situation where there is more Ether in the commit chain ledger than there actually is onto the smart contract of the commit chain ledger on chain. So any users will see that, like there is 100 Ether in the ledger, while there is only 50 Ether onto the smart contract. So you initiate a challenge, and the smart contract will revert the checkpoint with this double spend transaction. So the system is safe. Now, another attack is like the operator could try to steal coins, making unauthorized transfers. So here again, Alice can challenge and get that reverted. So now that we are convinced that the system is secure, I hope, we can look at the operational cost. So the operator has to pay for one on-chain transaction every 36 hours in order to submit the commitment. And this is pretty cheap. So it's going to be below 10 USD per month. Then user storage. The user only has to store the latest checkpoints and like the transfer signatures and so on, and a Merkle branch. And this is very small. And that's quite important because we want to do light client. So the user don't need like the whole commit chain ledger to be convinced that it is secure. You only need like a small fragment of it. And we have this user availability requirement, which is a kind of biggest drawback of the system, is that if you want to be sure that the operator is not cheating, you have to come up online once every 36 hours, no matter when, but at least once every 36 hours to audit the integrity of your account. This is the operational cost in terms of gas. So we can see that even with 1 billion user account in the commit chain, the gas costs still are quite low, right? It's only like 400K gas in order to do challenge and withdrawals, meaning exit the coins. So this is like the mobile wallet that we develop. So you can set up a wallet and you will get on the home screen. The first balance here is regular on-chain Ether. And the second one is F Ether for fast and free. So I can convert from one to another, and when I transact in F Ether, transactions are instant and free of gas. And the wallet support ERC20 token the same way. So yeah, so layer 2 is not only about scalability, but also about user experience. It's a great opportunity to fix some of the user experience pain point of blockchain. So specifically here, we're able to address transaction time. So transaction get confirmed within a second. No need to wait to be included in a block and block confirmation and so on. And you don't have these complex gas fee structures. So dApp developers can benefit a lot by using our solution today. And so this is our SDK, and we made it very developer friendly, and in less than 10 lines of code, you can make off-chain transfers. So check it out. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. Please check out our documentation for our SDK, our mobile app, and if you want some proper formalism of NOCUST, how it works, the security properties and security proof, please check out our academic paper here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I just have a quick question for you. So you mentioned scalability and UX. These are the issues you're solving. So how is that different to other layer 2 solutions?
To other layer 2 solutions?
So what would be your competitive advantage in this space?
Okay, so for example, payment channels requires payment channel management, and this like an additional burden for for users. And as well, you need like, in payment channel, you know, you have receivability of funds that are limited, and you are in this weird situation where you can only spend fund but cannot receive money. And this has impact on UX, and we don't have that here.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.